All right, so hello everybody. It's the first Friday of March. Here we are together. I thought I would open with a quote from Katie, but I'll share first, just in case you don't know me and you got here somehow with the help of a friend, or maybe you're on the list, but I'm Grace Bell. I'm a facilitator of the work. And that's what we will be doing today, the Work of Byron Katie. So lovely to be here with you all in this morning meditation. Morning my time, midday for some, evening for some others. So from the book, Loving What Is, here's Katie. When a thought appears, such as do the dishes, and you don't do them, notice how an internal war breaks out. It sounds like this: I'll do them later. I should have done them by now. My roommate should have done them. It's not my turn. It's not fair. People will think less of me if I don't do them now. The stress and weariness you feel are really mental combat fatigue. What I call doing the dishes is the practice of loving the task in front of you. Your inner voice guides you all day long to do simple things such as brush your teeth, drive to work, call your friend, or do the dishes. Even though it's just another story, it's a very short story. And when you follow the direction of the voice, that story ends. We are really alive when we live as simply that: open, waiting, trusting, and loving to do what appears in front of us now. All right, so just an open inspiration about loving what is, including the directives about the flow of whatever's in front of us. But we get to sit quietly today. I love the work, like meditation. And where we'll begin is identifying our thoughts. So just getting ready first to take a pen and paper or your device, wherever you like to write, because we're going to fill out a Judge Your Neighbor worksheet. There's something about doing it in the group that is really quite sweet, maybe a little bit different from when you dash it off quickly by yourself. So even if you aren't familiar with the work, just follow along and I'll ask the questions that are on the Judge Your Neighbor worksheet. The very first thing before even writing is to identify a moment in time, a situation that you feel disturbed about, like you don't like, something that's not going well. A snapshot. I like to think of it as if you're watching a movie of your life, the way we have memory, and you see in a moment, like let's say a situation with another person, and you see that moment and then push the pause button on the movie. Hold still on that moment. Like you're just looking at a frame of your life. Well, right now, the thing that's coming to mind is in the Year of Inquiry, which is a whole year-long group. Right now, this month, the topic is the body, problems we have with the body, disturbance about the body, anything that it looks like, or pain, or sickness, or any threat to the body. So imagining looking at the body, and I was reminded of looking in the mirror and looking at my thighs and thinking, they're wrong. They need to change. So this is so funny. Somebody's knocking on my door. I should have a little sign up that says, so everyone hold that moment, hold that thought, and just think about your situation, and then I'll guide you into the Judge Your Neighbor. All right? So just get your situation really clear and notice what the time is, the moment, where, if you had a little needle calibrating the perfect right when you felt the stress rising. If you're having a conversation with a person, or in my case, I'm looking in the mirror at that particular vision, just anchor yourself there and see what it is. And sometimes people like to write down, here's my situation, little short moment. Just find that, and I'll be right back.
Sorry about that.
I'm running a course, yeah.
Oh, I'm looking for a plug-in to plug into. Oh,
I think that's
it.
Or you have to go on the front porch. There's a live plug-in on the front porch of our house.
Oh, okay.
And bring it all the way around.
You can't use the one that.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Okay,
Yeah. All right. So anybody need help with finding your situation? Okay. So looking at that situation, love that it's an anchor point, because the mind is so busy and fast. You might see many things while you follow along here. You're going to come back to this, and just in case you find yourself wandering, or your mind wandering. So in that situation, you can name the feeling that you have. Not quite as important to identify that perfectly. It's just, I am upset. You can fill in the blank on the feeling with this person or whatever it is I'm looking at, because, and now write short, simple sentences of why you're disturbed. And thank you so much, Teresa. Saying, I came in late, tell me one more time. So for any of you arriving late, we're starting with filling out the Judge Your Neighbor worksheet. And really find that situation where you felt disturbance. And interesting example to notice the body, the condition of the body. So my neighbor that I'm judging would be the body instead of a person. So I like to think of this number one on the Judge Your Neighbor as like, this is the crime that's committed. This is the offense. This is the thing I don't like. Can I name it in a really short way? I'm upset in this situation because my old favorite with appearance of the body was, my thighs are too fat. I'm upset in this situation because this pain won't go away. And nice to keep it short, simple, very, very simple sentences. Just listen to what it says in the most simple manner. Just listening. And if you're like me and you like to write a lot and your sentences go on long, no wrong way to do it. Totally fine. You just might narrow it down and make it more clear, more simple. And yes, please ask a question. So Marina says, can I ask a question? Yeah.
My situation is, I'm in a group chart and I see the picture of the lady. It just appears. She did this Snapchat of herself, self.
Okay.
And because like she doesn't do anything else, but I have already this tension against her. So just her appearance there, I just, and what crime did she do? She exists because she exists in my reality. I mean,
right. Well, it's good to see what's the thing that's a little it can be very minor, on a scale of 0 to 10. If 10 was like extremely stressed, oh, just awful, and 0 is nothing. Maybe it's a 1, but
No, it's a big one.
it's a big one. Okay, there's something I don't like about her. I don't like about what I'm
No.
seeing. Yeah, it's good. Well, just look and say, I'm disturbed in this situation because what did she look like to you?
Beautiful.
Oh, she looks so beautiful. Okay. And then that could be a stress-free, you look at something very beautiful, you could be excited and joyful. So what's the thought that feels disturbing? She's so beautiful.
It's like a competition.
I'm not so beautiful, or I need to be as beautiful as her.
It's more like, in my belief, she attracts people. It's just a competition. We're doing both. We teach in the work, so it's that thing. So, like, in my belief that she's attractive, and that's why the fear is people would rather to go to her because that.
Okay.
So, and I have a hard time with this comparison.
Yeah.
How to make the crime and nail it.
Yeah. It's such a good question. And I think it's sort of watching, I see this, and what is my meaning? What's my interpretation?
Yeah.
And the stressful piece of the interpretation, because your mind will
Yeah.
be like floating around and sort of saying like, it's so beautiful. But it means, what is the disturbance that it means?
Mm-hmm.
People will go to her and not to me. Is that how it is?
And yes, and how would I make it to judge her?
Yeah. She has more, it's easier for her to have people.
Mm.
It's okay. And that's a very interesting one, like those, this comparison and those people who have it easier. I really liked doing that with wealthy people, very, very, very wealthy, like right down my block a long time ago. Look at this. They have this amazing house and a boat and a dock and then a view of Mount Rainier. And it all seems very favorable, but the meaning, you could still just identify it like that. See what you think about life. There's her life, and it's easy for her, not easy for you. It'll come out more as you keep writing the worksheet.
Yeah.
But the crime is, it's easy for her, and it's not easy for me. Not as easy for me.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. It's very helpful.
Good. That's a great question. It's a great one. All right. Okay. So number 2, everybody has their number 1. There's that situation. There's what I don't like, the disturbance. Number 2, how do I want them to change? How do I want what I'm looking at to change? Interesting question, especially with what Marina just brought. How do I want them to change? So go ahead and let it come. Maybe your thought is about how you should change, because the mind will go right to that often. But just see, what do I want them to do? How do I want them to change? What do I want them to do? What do I want the pain? Just considering the one I brought, what do I want the pain to do? I want it to go away. Very simple. Simple, simple. Go away and never come back. Vanish from my life. And anyone, as we fill out the Judge Your Neighbor worksheet, that's what we're doing right now. If you've joined, totally fine to ask questions. And really helpful to be very unedited. Even if you feel embarrassed about your thoughts, just let them come out. Okay, number three, third question. This is like we're uncovering all the stressful thoughts, the immature, angry, irritable, worried, anything that feels stressful about this. So just letting it all come out. Third question, what advice would you give? This is usually just using should and shouldn't. So look at what you're seeing over there. What do you think it should do, think, say? What would you recommend? Especially so that what you want can happen. You know, that thing that you want, how you want them to change. So, what would you recommend? All right. Question 4. Love pausing a moment always with question 4. In this situation, in order for you to be happy, what do you need from this other person? So just see, or this other thing, this whatever it is you're looking at here. What do you need in order to actually be happy? I love the question because sometimes we'll think we know what we need just to survive or get through it. But for it to become something that brings us happiness, like all, what would change the whole moment. So we feel excited or peaceful, relaxed, entirely relaxed, joyful in this situation. What would it take? So just using your imagination, what do I need from them or it in order to be happy?
Grace.
Yeah.
So
Hi, Atul.
I have a question on this one. I always kind of struggle with question 4 and 2.
Mhm.
Um,
Mm,
and 2 is about what do I want?
yeah.
I interpret it as what do I want from them, right? In that situation.
Yeah.
And then I end up repeating the same or
Yeah.
close in 3.
Yes.
So I know there's a nuance and a subtlety. Can you speak to that?
Yeah. It's a great question because I remember I used to notice that, um, she's being really loud. I want her to be quiet. She should be quiet. I need her to be quiet. um, so how do you want them to change? It's like there they are doing that, and I demand, just like fully with the energy of it. I demand they change and be this other way. Here's what I want to see from them. You should stop doing it, whatever it is. And it may be similar in number 4, But I like that the question is now, what would it take in order for you to experience happiness in this moment? And often it's beyond that just demand a change. It's like um, yeah, if I want my sister to speak to me instead of cutting off the whole family, I want her to talk to me. I want her to make contact. Well, now I need her to, what would actually, because that would be pretty exciting, but what would actually make it so, wow, this is like the whole history's fixed, everything's wonderful, I feel so good. I'd want her to say, talk about, it gets a little filled out. It's like using the imagination to see what I really, really would need for happiness. Does that help?
Yeah, it seems like the question too has, I like the word demand, and people have often referred to it even as a tantrum
Yes,
at
yes,
the font, right?
yeah,
And so that's a more reactive place from which I'm immediately coming. And
exactly.
then question 4 seems to have a little bit more of a settled energy, kind of just
Yeah,
maybe broader need. Okay. Is that
yeah,
the way to hear it? Okay.
yeah. And I also like how in question 2, it's like, they must change, and you see how it is, and then in question 4, you're kind of coming back, what do I actually need in their presence in order to be happy? What could they do? This is not about being in a bubble and just but what could they, that would, like, almost maybe it would even surprise me by how great, so what would bring me happiness? It's nice because it can bring, like, I don't- yeah, something sort of greater than just not that.
Mm,
Well, then what is it that I would like?
that's clear. Thank you.
Yeah. And I love that Anna is from work. She says she can't share because she's at work. I love that people can just jump in here wherever you are. It's great. Um, says, ha ha ha, laughing. I would like my boss to treat me like an equal. Interesting to see what would really make me happy in the situation. Yeah, it's fun. And just let yourself, let your imagination's there, let it be there, and just be running and see what it is what would it take? In a way, identifying that is a wonderful, as it's been called, like a prescription for happiness. We start here. What would it take to get happy? All right. So, number 5. And for anyone who's joined in the last few minutes, lovely that you're here. We're filling out a Judge Your Neighbor worksheet, finding that situation that you feel opposing, you don't like. So, number 5, what do you think of them in this situation, unedited? You can look back at your number 1 and just, sometimes you've stepped through and, yeah, how did I feel? I'm upset in the situation. Go back to that. What do you think of them? And this is just your, usually one word separated by commas, like a list. Make a list. What are the qualities you think of them? They are, this is, just write the qualities. Unedited. It can be feel very childish, like you're calling them names. It's okay. That's the spirit of it. And then number 6, what is it that you never want to experience again? Just if you had your way, if you had your druthers, as my grandma used to say. What do you never want to experience again in this situation? I don't ever want, I love it. We just get to make a global statement. So these concepts that you've written, it's like gold, you've got them. They're on paper. So you can take them into the work process. 4 questions and finding turnarounds, just one at a time. It's wonderful to have it. So, all right. Who would like to do the work? And what you can do is you can use the chat feature to raise your hand. Since there's, or just pop yourself off mute and say, yes, I'd like to do the work. And if you volunteer to do the work, you'll just read your worksheet the way you wrote it. You could tell us briefly your situation, read the worksheet the way you wrote it, and we'll move from there, and everybody can follow along. Find the thought, whoever's speaking, you might be able to relate to that thought. Okay, so who dares to go? Laura, awesome. Okay, let's unmute you. Very good. So,
before I start, if anybody else has a burning desire and is just uncomfortable, I'm willing to step aside for that. So, but I'm happy to do my work.
Very kind of you. All right. Anybody feel like there was a last minute, like, whoa, I need to do this? And Laura, thank you. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Sometimes just getting here and dialing in and being a part of the live group is pretty scary. And that's enough that you got here. So wonderful that all of you who are here. And then, thank you, Laura. All right.
Would you like me to read my worksheet?
Read your worksheet.
Okay.
Thank you.
Would you like me to tell you the situation or just to read my worksheet?
You can tell us the situation. That's okay. Just a couple sentences here, where you are, what's happening. Yeah.
I'm a child and I'm heading out to a public gathering in our neighborhood. And there's a pool and we're all in bathing suits.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom shows disgust in me that I am fatter than she'd like me to see. I am 9 at the time, I think, right around 9, 10. Okay. So I'm angry at my mom. She tells me I have to be skinny to be accepted. Number 2, I want mom to teach me to love myself. To make me more important than the other people and what they think. 3, mom should grow up, be mature, know that they don't matter, fix herself. Mom shouldn't make what others think more important than me and my self-esteem. Shouldn't manage my body. I need my mom to tell me I'm perfect the way that I am, just to love me. To tell me my body is beautiful and perfect. My list, my mom is self-centered, vain, mean. These are hard to write because I know what's coming. Self-centered, vain, mean, self-absorbed, unaware, uneducated, selfish, childlike, and unprepared to be a mother. And the last one I had a difficult time with, but I wrote down, because she's passed, my mom is gone.
Mhm.
I don't ever want to hate my body to be controlled by my mom's messages.
Mm, beautiful. Yeah, I love that we can do the work on mothers, even if it was a long time ago that they died, apparently. You know? Yeah,
Truly my greatest teacher.
yeah, yeah. Beautiful. Okay, my dear. So my thought is to start at the top, but I always like to put out if there's something, if there's a sentence on there that just has so much charge, like, oh my God, that is so true. That's really popping out. It's okay. You don't have to do it in the perfect order.
I have to be skinny to be accepted.
All right. So everybody find it if I have to be skinny to be accepted. And if you don't have the word skinny to be accepted, see if there's a quality that you have to be in order to be accepted. I love Anna, I think, was asking about if there's something, about being at work and being with your boss. Is there a quality you're supposed to have in order to be accepted by that boss? So just see if that fits somewhere in your situation. I have to be blank in order to be acceptable in this situation. Okay. And you can write your answers and let it percolate in. Just listen, whatever works well for you. To use it like a meditation. All right. Even though Laura's the one answering the questions. So in that situation, Laura, you have to be skinny to be accepted. Is that true?
Yes.
Can you absolutely know that that's true? That you have to be skinny to be acceptable in this situation?
Yes.
So what happens when you think this thought? It feels absolutely true. You have to be skinny, not what you are right now, apparently, in order to be acceptable. What happens when you believe that thought?
I get scared. I don't understand. I feel separated from the people we're going to go to, my whole neighborhood. I'm confused. Um, I I'm scared. I'm sad. I want to. I want to run away. I don't want to be a part of this community.
Mm.
I'm looking at my mom and I don't understand. I'm tired of it. I know this is how she thinks.
So see what images you have. Because in this moment, your mother's saying something and you're on your way to other people. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So just see what images are coming to your mind as a child right there about what's going to happen next.
I'm going to be judged. Everyone's going to just be looking at me. Everyone's going to be laughing at me. They won't let me, they don't really want me to be there. I really shouldn't eat any of the foods that will be there. I want to hide. When I get there, I want to hide. I feel so out of place and so like I just shouldn't even exist. And I can't change it. I don't know. I can't change it. It's not an option to change. It's not an option not to feel that way. And I don't know how to I don't know how to fix my body. I don't know how to change that. I feel blocked. I feel I don't belong anywhere. I don't belong at home. I don't belong out in public. I'm an embarrassment. I should just go away. But I don't know how to go away because I have to go to the party. I don't want to go to the party.
Okay. And just see how you treat your mother right there. Just what the energy's like between you two. Might be similar. I have to be skinny in order to be accepted. This includes my mother.
I feel so separated. I feel so like sad. Like I want to please her. I want to be what she wants me to be. I want to be one of the girls in the neighborhood that is cute and perfect, and that she can brag about me and feel proud. But I know I'm not, so I'm sad. I just feel separated. I'm separated from her. I desperately want her to just accept me for what I am, but this has gone on too long. She's not going to. So I give up on her.
It's so powerful to watch the images of other people who are doing it right. Okay. All right. Anything more of what happens and how you react? I need to be skinny in order to be accepted.
Yeah, I do see that the other girls aren't perfect. And I'm thinking of Beth Hammond and how she's not perfect, but I wonder if her mom treats her that way. I don't know. I wonder if other people are going through what I'm going through, other kids. I just don't know. I don't know. Yeah, that's all.
Good. Okay. So, same moment, paused. Others just said this. Who would you be without this thought? I have to be skinny in order to be accepted. If that just couldn't occur to you in that moment, even though she's just said what she said.
I would see the fear in my mom. I would see how desperately she wants to fit in. I can see how sad and lonely she is, really. And I can see that she doesn't, that what she's saying to me well, I can see my fat. I can see that I am not skinny. But I can see that I don't know what anybody thinks, and that when we go to these neighborhood parties that I have fun, and that nobody says anything to me, and nobody pulls food away from me, and no one. I can see that I'm separate. I am no longer her. I no longer just believe. I'm no longer a believer. and I'm not angry. It's like I have compassion for her, and that I can see that she is doing the very best that she knows how to do. So I can see that she's trying to help me in the only way she knows how. But without the thought, without believing her, I see that it's not me she's talking to. That she doesn't really see me.
Mm.
So without the thought, the situation really becomes clear and I become separated, but in a healthy way.
Mm.
And there's no anger. I'm not blaming her. I'm also not believing her. It's just her talking.
Mm.
And me getting ready to go to a really fun summer party. Because the Hammonds always have fun parties.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
Like you have your anticipation back of something wonderful is about to happen, or this is fun. This will be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a summer day and we're all going to be by the pool and they have a much better pool than we do. And so
Mhm.
and there'll always be lots of food and I love to eat and she won't be able to watch me the whole time.
uh,
And without the thought, I don't feel guilty for eating. Anyway, that's going into more of it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's good to see. It's sort of like with the thought, I have to be skinny to be acceptable, especially by mother in this moment, but other people too. You just see how you treat food when you believe that thought. Just, oh my gosh, got to be very suppress, don't eat, all that stuff happens in there. So without the thought,
Yeah, I can see without the thought. I just had another thought that with that memory, with the thought, it was impossible to please her because I was what I was. So how am I supposed to do that? It's not like, honey, go clean your room. Oh, I can go clean my room and everything is okay.
mm,
Or until it's not. It's be skinny when
mm,
I'm not.
mm, mm, mm,
Because I was a little chunky monkey.
mhm,
And
mm,
it was impossible to please. So without the thought, I'm just a little girl with baby fat. Just perfect.
mm. Aw, yeah,
Yeah.
very sweet. Okay. Yeah. Without the thought, and everyone doing it, even if you're doing it on another quality, not skinniness. There you are, being yourself, responding as you responded. No thought that it's the wrong way. Doesn't mean something won't change, but just in the moment, compassion, perhaps. Okay, let's turn that thought around. All right, so I have to be skinny to be accepted.
I don't have to be skinny to be accepted.
Yeah.
That's easy to find because I can see playing, I can see being there, and I can see that nobody said, go away, Laura, you're too chunky to be here. So I was accepted.
Mm-hmm.
And even with my mom, I can see where she didn't kick me out of the house or tell me I wasn't allowed to be her daughter. So on some level, to a
Mhm.
greater degree, she accepted me. I don't have to be skinny to be accepted. She didn't, moving outward, she didn't always tell me that, she didn't always say those things to me. Um,
Nice. Yep.
yeah, okay.
Yes.
So I don't need to be skinny to be accepted. Um,
Yeah. I just had this, I don't know if you find it, but right in the moment, even when she's speaking, so she's singing her song or saying these words, da, 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 that apparently has to do with your appearance. And I don't know if you can find it, but it's like she's in contact with you. Like she's kind of, there's something there. She's just making a commentary, and maybe it's not at you, it's just what she's seeing, but she's sharing, like it's a,
that's her way of connecting.
yeah, she cares. So she's talking.
Yeah,
She's,
yeah. She thinks it matters
yes. Yeah.
because she believes the story. She wants me to, she really believes the story.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Really believe the story. And so she cares enough to
Yeah.
want me to believe the story too.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's so wrapped up in the story. Holy cow.
Yeah.
All her life. Yeah. So I have to be skinny to be accepted.
Which I don't know, that could be a turnaround. Another different turnaround is she has to be skinny in order to accept herself. She has to be.
Would I be in her business if I did that?
Yes, and every so often there is a simple turnaround there, and you're kind of like, well, I don't know, but I like how you were finding, it's just like you try it on like a sweater anyway, and you're finding, oh, right, who's the one talking? You're aware there's this whole lifetime of apparently her believing it. Yeah, and you're right, it's in her business, but just,
But I was finding compassion for her.
yeah,
So she
yeah,
does believe she has to be skinny before she can be accepted.
yeah,
She
yeah,
believes that with all of her heart. Can
yeah.
you hear that in the background? Can you hear a vacuum?
No,
Okay, good. I don't have to go hurt my
yeah.
husband. Thank him. Okay, yeah. We're in the middle of construction. All
uh,
right. Um, okay, so I'm having a hard time seeing turnarounds. I have to be skinny. I don't have to be skinny to be accepted.
mhm.
Um,
Well, so it's like in the original, I have to be skinny to be accepted by my mother. So my mother has to be something to be accepted by me. Is there maybe she has to be
okay.
skinny, or she has to be,
My mother's thinking needs to be skinnier. My mother has
so in other words, am I expecting something from her in the moment, like not judging me for my body? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
she thinks my body needs to be this certain way. She thinks I need to be a certain way in order to be accepted. Well, I think she needs to be a certain way.
Yeah, my mom thinks. Yeah, my mom and I can see where she needs. My mom needs. This is hard. My mom. My mom's words need to be skinnier. I want my mom's words to not exist. She doesn't want me to exist. I don't want my mom, this attitude of my mom's to exist. I'm expecting her to change.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've ever had such a hard time with the turnaround. But
But it's a
that
little
doesn't
bit,
surprise me.
yeah. Sometimes it's tricky when you start with that. I need to be skinny to be accepted. I need to be this certain different way to be accepted by her. This skinny thing. Well,
My
you know,
mom tells me. Okay, so my mom tells me. I tell my mom. I'm
yes,
telling my mom what to say to me. I'm telling my mom how to live
yeah,
her life.
yes. I'm
I'm
telling her,
telling.
no, don't
I'm
say that to me.
right. I'm telling her. She's telling me. I'm telling her.
Hmm.
Um,
So,
okay, I can find that.
yeah,
That I'm expecting her to act a certain way. She's expecting me to act a certain way.
yeah,
I can find that.
yeah,
That is the war.
yeah.
Do you find? Can you see something else?
Yeah, that's just, you got it. It's like she needs to be, not saying it to be accepted by me. Like, I'm finding this unacceptable and I'm sad. It's just great to notice. Oh, I believe she needs to be different. And she's saying I need to be different. And right in that moment that I believe she needs to say it differently, not think this, be different, I'm thinking she needs to be different. Just,
Right.
powerful to notice. So somebody sharing, like another different example, Sue, thank you. So I have to please others to be accepted. I have to please others to be rejected. um, I'd love some help with the turnaround. It seems just as painful. Okay, so what I love about that one is, so in this pleasing of others that I think is required for acceptance, could it be that in this pleasing of others, I wind up being rejected by others? So if I have to not be skinny. I have to not care about that, or be different than I am. I have to be exactly this in order to be accepted.
I reject others when I'm not skinny.
Yes, perfect.
I reject others when I'm not skinny.
Yeah. I say they are not acceptable. Yep.
They're at yeah. If they don't like me, they can da 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 da. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think their attitude should change. They
Yeah.
should love me just the way I am.
Yeah.
And I treat everybody like they're my mom. That's my story.
Yeah.
That's my overlay that I place everywhere. All this on.
Yeah. It's just noticing I've eaten that thought. I've taken it
Yeah.
in myself. I need to be skinny in order to accept myself.
Right.
I'm I adopted that thought and said, "You're right."
My thinking believes.
Hmm.
My thinking truly believes I have to be skinny to be accepted.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's so true.
And I love it. So Kirsten's saying, a living turnaround would be, wow, this thing that about acceptance that I love. I love acceptance, and I'm noticing no one's doing it. I'm not doing it with myself. I'm not doing it with my mother. She's not doing it with me about this skinny thing. So I know a living turnaround can be accepting myself as I am, like just noticing what's great about this that I am, which is apparently not skinny. How am I okay being just like this?
Yeah, it's a stretch.
Yeah.
But I can see that. I can see it. And logically, obviously, I can say, well, of course, we're supposed to love each other, but I mean, love ourselves. But when in the past, when I've heard of people that are overweight and say they love themselves, I think you're lying.
So good. Yeah.
Can't
Right.
do that. You're just pretending.
Yeah.
Nice, glad that you can say the right things and have the pat answer, but I don't. And that's me,
Yeah.
obviously my projection.
Yeah.
So I am not there yet, but I can see that that would be readily available when I drop my story. When I really drop my story, and yeah,
And it's I love that it's sort of noticing I'm not there yet, and I'm willing because I'm doing this work. I'm inquiring. It's like I'm willing. even the tiniest little thing, how does it serve me to not be that skinny thing, that other thing that's different? Like, what's great about being this one here?
Got to enjoy a lot of great food.
Yeah, that's great.
And relate to other people and see what it feels like. And I do beautiful daughter-in-laws, both that are not super skinny. And I don't know.
Isn't that lovely? Yeah.
Yeah. That their
Yeah.
husbands, my sons, would choose them.
Yeah, that's just not important for the love connection. Acceptance doesn't. Oh, it's another great example of, oh, that doesn't matter whether you're accepted or not. There's lots of good examples.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Thank you. So, comments, feedback from anybody. Anyone can just share. And I love that Sue is looking at people pleasing, like being very pleasing and finding that turnaround. I'm not when I'm trying to please others, I'm not pleasing myself. Something about that in the turnaround. I'm rejecting myself. So Gina sharing, I just saw that the entire scenario I worked on wasn't even about the other person as much as it was about how I feel about myself. Yeah, that I manifested my discomfort around being critical of others when I need something for myself. And Kristen saying, it was so good, such deep and honest work. So thank you. And thank you, Laura. Yeah. Anyone else want to share, like if you had another quality? I thought it was interesting that a few things, people were looking at different things besides this, image of skinniness, another different quality. It's good to see what you think is required for acceptance. And this one, in this case, turned acceptance from these other people. I need to be this way for them to accept me. I need to be just the way I am for them to accept me and myself. So living turnaround. I love just finding whatever fits for you, for noticing a living turnaround if something comes out of that, which just means, wow, okay, how would I bring that energy into this day? Maybe yours is, Laura, just simply finding examples of how it's great to be exactly what I was in the moment. So, yeah. And Anna, every time I'm trying to please the other, I am not pleasing myself. Yeah. Okay. Beautiful work, everybody. Wonderful. All right. I love Kirsten saying again, I heard the mirror. She heard her mother's voice, and it was herself too. The turnaround is I am in the process of being myself, and my sons are my teachers. Whoever this other is, yeah, teacher. How is it okay that whatever happened and whatever went down, no matter how long ago, all the way back to childhood, was actually in service somehow? That might be a stretch, but how do you notice you're even just safe or okay in that situation? So, and Jenny's sharing, it started with my friend and then went to my mom. I can be myself to please myself. Yes. I love how people show up in the world, and it goes back to mom, dad, brother, sister. Okay. Who else would like to do the work? So you can just pop yourself off mute and say, I would, or put it in the chat. Or raise your hand. Ah, Jenny, great. All right, I'm unmuting you.
I'm actually not Jenny, I'm Sarah, but
All right,
Excellent.
well, very good. Okay. I love it.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, so just tell us your moment, your situation in time, and you can read what you wrote.
Um, the situation is that I am following my mom up to her bedroom because she's crying, and so what happens is I get on the bed and I ask her, did I do something wrong? Was there something I said? So that's a situation that that's basically the situation. I was about maybe 8 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and family of 4. It was in her bedroom. I just remember that situation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, read what you wrote.
Yeah, I'm upset, wondering. Let's see. I'm upset because I fear I've upset my mom.
Mm.
And then what it comes down to is it means that I'm bad.
I love just finding that in the most simple terms. Yeah.
Yeah, it just means I'm bad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. We just go with that.
Yep.
Okay. I'm bad because I've upset my mom.
Right.
Or
Right.
because I might have. It's okay. Just great to stay. Yeah, I'm bad because I've upset my mom. So this is beautiful, anybody, for just thinking about it upsetting anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so just hold that situation in mind where you have apparently upset somebody. And you think, I'm bad. Okay. All right. So, Sarah, is it true that you're bad because you've upset your mom? And I know you're not even positive that you upset her, but it's just holding that. Is it true that you're bad if you upset your mom?
In that moment,
Mm-hmm.
in that situation, yes.
Awesome. Can you absolutely know that it's true? That if you've upset her, that means you're bad? Can you absolutely know that that's true?
No. No.
So, what happens when you believe it? How do you react when you think the thought? You've upset her.
I feel confused. I feel upset. I feel like I'm responsible for her. When I believe that, I feel that there must be something with me. There must be something wrong with me. That it's just not, that I'm looking at her, I feel sad. I want her to stop crying. I want to know why she's crying. Um, you know, so yeah, in that scene, I am, you know, I really, in that moment, I feel really separated and empty, and like, that, you know, that I just want to fill that emptiness somehow. It's a very desperate feeling that I have there when I believe this thought.
Mm, mm, yeah. Okay. Any images that come to mind, even as a little 9-year-old, like what's going to happen next or what's happened before? I'm bad. I've upset my mom.
Um, I think, you know, there's a lot of past that comes up just around moments where, well, you know, okay, there we go again. It's got to be me. So you know, this is what happens. And but it's more desperate than that.
Mhm,
It's like, this feeling of I am going to die. You know, I am going to die I'm just disconnected from her, and there's there's nothing I can do.
mm,
And yeah, so that's the past images. The future images are kind of like, this sense of hopelessness. You know, am I going to be this way? You know, am I going to just cut off from my children? You know, I don't know. It
mm,
just is like this, a feeling more than words,
mhm,
of just this, oh my God, you know, I I've got to figure out some way to, you know, to deal with this.
mm,
Um, yeah. So yeah, how can I get love? How can I get love? It's not going to come from her. So yeah, it's a desperate thing. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Okay. So, who would you be without the thought? So, same moment, there's mother crying, but you don't have the thought, I'm bad, because she's upset. I'm bad when she's upset.
Um, just looking at her, it's I feel so sad. If I didn't have that thought, I would be, well, there wouldn't be all that history. So you know, it would be like, I just look at her, you know, she's just a really sad mom
Mhm,
right now. She's just very sad. She's crying. And I just want to hold her, you know, I want to go to her. Um, and just, you know, put my arms around her. And I think, you know, I think without that thought, um, I would be curious, you know? It's like just a child's curiosity, like, "Mom, what happened?" You
mhm,
know, just like this innocent child, just, "What happened?" You know? It
mhm,
must have been awful. I feel like, yeah, I feel I'm sorry, you know?
mhm.
Kind of kind
Mhm,
of this, you know,
mhm.
like, I've been with little children who've been like that, you know, if I started crying, they go, "Oh, Sarah, what's wrong?"
Yeah, that,
"No, what's the matter?
yeah.
It's okay. It's gonna be okay." Um, yeah, so, I mean, it would be more of a curiosity, more of, you know, that real true loving s my loving self would be really present, truly present to
Mhm,
her.
mhm,
And, I would have, it was, in fact, and I actually can see how I really was present for her in a very, very deep way as a young child. Yeah, I really cared about why she was crying and always cared.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so sweet. It's like we're not undoing that we're looking at somebody sad or crying, but it's not personal. So it's like it's not the meaning
Mm.
I'm bad or yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's just being a human. A
Mhm.
young child is just being the humanness of it.
Mhm.
Really seeing that. Yeah. She's sad.
Mhm.
Sad. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, very different. So let's find a turnaround. All right. So I'm sad because she's upset, or I'm bad because she's upset.
Yeah. It means that I'm bad. She's
Hmm.
upset that I'm bad. I did something wrong. Yeah. Yeah.
So I didn't, simple turnaround. It doesn't mean that I'm bad. I didn't do anything
It
wrong.
doesn't. It doesn't mean that I'm bad. Yeah.
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 And how could that be just as true? Genuine, like just noticing that.
Well, because I really couldn't figure out what it, I really don't think that I did anything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I couldn't see it. It was confusing to me. It became a confusion. And so now that I see that she was just crying, she was feeling sad, she was having her emotions, and I wanted to know why. And I couldn't figure it out. So I blamed myself. Yeah.
No.
And that's not really true.
Yeah.
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 Not bad.
Um,
It's not bad not to know what's going on over there, and being curious. Yeah.
right. Right. Yeah.
Doesn't mean I'm bad. Yep.
Yeah.
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 So I'm
Do you
bad.
see any other sounds?
Just love that sort of, yeah. So let's see. Well, only in my thinking am I bad, because
Right.
I've upset myself in a way, like I've upset myself. So I think I'm bad, you know,
Yeah.
without a mother
I've
here.
upset myself. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've upset myself and done a number on myself. And
Yeah.
that's where I went with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've upset myself.
Especially when my mother is sad or when this other person is sad,
Right.
that's, I
Right.
upset myself. Yeah.
Right.
I call myself.
Yeah.
Great to know. Like sometimes even an obvious turnaround is the person doesn't say, "You are very bad," for
Uh,
upsetting me. There was no words
yeah.
like that whatsoever. So it's kind of like you
Right.
realize, even in a child, you're kind of like being a believer, assuming it's something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can see this as a pattern through the first person I started with. It was someone who withdrew. We had just had an interaction. She withdrew, and then I was left with, I don't know what happened. So it went right back to this scene.
So
Yeah.
good.
So
Yeah.
powerful. Yeah. Yeah. Which I had to make myself bad. And I put myself through a week of torture doing that. And then I finally could see that the clarity on that, it didn't go back to my mother at that point, but so this was very helpful because it started with her and then it went right to my mom.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this was probably the last piece that I needed
Wow.
to see my thinking
Yeah.
which is really, really helpful because this is someone I'm with intimately in a group all the time.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And there was this little piece of, oh, I just don't know why I feel this way, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, so thank you.
Oh my God.
This is really, yeah,
It's a great situation. I bet you everybody can relate to, you know, somebody's upset and that
yeah.
inside impulse to, does it have
Mhm,
something to do with me? Maybe I did something wrong.
mhm.
You know, and just where the mind travels when it does that, has that experience, you know.
Yeah, and when someone put in the chat, I can be myself to please myself.
Uh-huh.
That was very helpful for me in where I was trying to see, you know, where I am right now. It's like
Mhm.
accepting who I am right now. It doesn't have to do with other people, you know, and when other people are upset, I can still be in my accepting of who I am. That's a huge thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah. That doesn't have to go to that bad place.
Yeah. Yeah.
That I could let them be. Like I could have, you know, I could let my mother be just who she is.
Mm.
She is not going to love me the way I want her to love me.
Mhm.
She is going to love me the way she loves me. So that is another pattern that is huge,
Yes.
that I'm now seeing the ways that she did love me. It wasn't the way I wanted her to love me, but I do see the ways that she was able to love me. Yeah.
So sweet. In a way,
Yeah.
it's kind of like watching the reverse, like, so original thought, I'm bad when she is
Right.
sad. You get to find
Right.
out, like, oh, and if I adopted that belief, do I think they're bad when I'm sad? Like they could fix it. You know,
Right. Right.
just
Right.
watching how we believe that to be true. Like,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, they're wrong or they're bad or, you know, maybe it doesn't sound
Yeah.
quite strong, but it's like just seeing
Yeah.
they could make
So
me
they're
feel better.
bad that means I'm sad. Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah. Because that's a wonderful
Yeah.
thing to question, just open up to, like, no matter whatever I'm feeling over here, and we're talking about
Yeah.
sadness,
Yeah.
could it be that they don't have to change at all
Yeah.
for me to alter my
Yeah.
sadness or just
When,
noticing yeah, yeah,
yeah. 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 When they're bad, they've upset me. Thank you.
yeah,
Yeah. Another. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Let me write that down.
It's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Even right in that
Wow.
situation, it's like there she is upset.
Yeah.
I'm putting like no on it. No.
Right.
You change and I will feel happier. You know, I'm
Right.
so just good to notice. Really
Yeah.
very innocent.
Yeah.
We're all so innocent believing that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's the I know that's the underlying, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you change and I'll be happy.
Uh-huh.
Hey.
So what a beautiful
Uh-huh.
around.
Yeah.
We can
Yeah.
find self-acceptance. It's great. You know, I'm just being who I am and I'm not bad. But also, could it be okay for them to just be whatever they are over there,
Right.
upset with me
Right.
or
Right.
not? You know? And
Yeah.
notice that I'm okay. Just finding examples of how I'm okay. You know, it's okay. I'm safe.
Yeah.
I'm loved. I'm not bad, even
Right.
if they're upset.
Yeah. 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 I'm safe. I'm loved.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't expect to go on that journey.
And it's a good one. What a great journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh, I am okay when they are sad. Yes. Good
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I'm okay
Mm-hmm.
when they are sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Wow. I'm
Very
okay.
sweet.
When they're upset with me. Yes.
Yeah. It's wonderful.
Oh, these are all good.
I really like noticing that one, Um, yeah.
Yeah.
If I am, no matter what anyone else feels, even if they're very upset, apparently with me,
Yep.
it's
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
And even just
Yeah.
having an eagerness or an interest with, if nobody's bad and upset is
Yeah.
like, oh, and
Yeah.
I'm really interested in that. I like the
Uh-huh.
conversation,
Mm-hmm.
it's like that, maybe more to say. I just had a burst of like remembering a sister who was very upset with me. Don't want to talk to you anymore. And
Uh-huh.
it'd be kind of like just this bounce, like not desperate to have her. She must talk to me now. What if we both died and she's not speaking to me? That'd be terrible, And then just
Yep.
relaxing and letting it, knowing I feel great love for her. I can love myself for how the whole thing went down. It's fine. And also noticing, oh, as I was doing my work on that particular situation, similar to yours, at one point it felt I reached out, I wrote a lovely email, that felt very genuine. Not like
Yep.
now you have to not be upset because of this email, but more like you can just be upset as you want. And I just want to share this, or do you want to get together more and share, talk more? Because
Uh-huh.
that would be meaningful to me. And it was really felt really sweet.
Yeah, I like that too. Nobody is bad. Nobody. Nobody. Yeah.
Which kind of relates to the first inquiry we heard.
Oh, I know. That is
Yeah.
great.
Very nice.
Yeah, Teresa.
Yeah, all is well. So
Uh,
all
I'm
right.
off camera to get ready for work. Okay. Yeah.
Very sweet. So off Anna went, and thank you. She's saying thank you for the two who did the work. I thank you also.
Thank you so much, Grace.
Yeah,
The privilege to be here.
so beautiful. Really love it. What a great way to start the day.
The weekend. Start the weekend. Wow.
Yes.
This is
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Lots and lots of love to you. Wonderful to be with you today. Take good care. See you next time.